What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got my man out here today. How you doing today, man?
I can't complain. The Lord is good.
I know that's right. It's a little cold, man, but we making it. We making it.
Yeah.
Sorry. So are you homeless?
Well, I'm currently homeless due to my situation.
Okay.
Me,
we're gonna get into it.
Going through trials and tribulations,
Trials and
the Lord still make a way for me every day. So I trust the Lord.
I get it. How old are you?
33.
33. And so how long have you been in this position of homelessness?
Well, probably for a couple of months now.
And so what was it that happened a couple months ago that caused you to become homeless?
Well, I got shot and it caused me to lose everything, but the Lord still provide for me and make a way for me. But I'm currently waiting on disability, so I'm not able to have money right now. So
You got shot?
yes, sir.
What happened?
Well, some bull crap, in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, I mean, everybody says stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But we like to get into details. Like, was it a situation where you knew the person that shot you?
Nah, I didn't know him.
Did you were you expecting to be shot for something, or?
Nah, I just had gotten into a confrontation and somebody came back and shot me, so that was.
So this was just like a random confrontation, and then they came back and shot you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I guess you was popping off like everybody's popping off a lot of ish, basically.
Yeah.
Like, oh, do shit, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he came back and fuck around and find out type deal, right?
Yeah.
I get it. All right, man. Was that your first time being shot?
Nah, I was shot before too. I had shot myself, so that was the second time.
You shot yourself?
Yes, sir.
What happened there?
Well, I was on drugs real bad. The Lord delivered me from drugs, and I got in a bad head-on car crash and shot myself one time. So.
Wait. Okay, so first of all, what drugs are we talking about?
Well,
crack, basically?
Nah, I used to do meth, but the Lord delivered me from it, so
okay.
I've been clean. I don't do drugs no more. All glory to the Lord. So.
Absolutely. When was the last time that you did meth?
Probably sometime last year.
Right, sometime last year?
Yeah.
And so this was when you shot yourself last year?
Yes, sir.
And so you say that you got into a head-on car accident or collision?
Yeah.
And why did that make you shoot yourself?
Well, I was under influence and I had the gun up on the seat and reached for it and ended up shooting myself. So.
On accident?
Yeah. On
okay,
accident.
I didn't know if you meant you shot yourself on purpose
or
or
accident.
Okay, where, in the leg or something?
Yeah, in the leg.
Okay, and then where'd you get shot at by the other guy?
All in the legs.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Legs is bad news.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. Do you have any kids?
Nah.
No kids?
Nah.
And so have you ever been married?
Well, I'm waiting on the Lord to bless me with a wife, so.
No is the answer though, right?
Nah.
Okay. All right, so let's start from the beginning. So, where you from, man?
Heaven.
Okay.
I don't claim worldly things.
But besides heaven, where were you
I was
physically born?
in Grady, so.
Are you a Grady baby?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Shout out them Grady babies, man. Shout out Atlanta. Yes, sir. All day long, man. And so, growing up here in Atlanta, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
Well, I grew up, I did 12 years in prison, things of that
Well,
nature.
before we got to that, though.
Okay.
When we was a kid, right? Did you have both
Well,
mom?
when I was a kid, I used to run the streets, so, yeah.
Okay. Well, before we get there, though, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
As far as who you lived in the house with?
Yeah, I did when I was a kid.
Okay, was it both mom and dad, or was it just mom?
Mom and dad.
Okay, were they married?
Not at the time.
But they was together, though?
Yeah.
Okay, and they lived together, right?
Yeah.
You have brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
How many?
Let's see. I don't even know how many.
Well, I mean, how many did you grow up in the household with?
Well, 4.
And where are you in the birth order of the 4 that were that was in the household?
Well, I was the youngest, so.
Okay, so you was the youngest of those 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so at what age did your parents split?
They didn't know split.
They're still together?
No, my mom passed.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. I'm sorry to hear about
good,
that.
Though.
What age did your mom pass?
I was in prison, so I was doing 12 years. So.
Well, what age did you go to prison?
When I was 18.
18?
Got out when I was 29.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. What'd you do?
Armed robbery.
Huh.
Yeah. The Lord been good to me though. He saved me, so I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, and I get all that, right? But let's try to figure out how we got into the armed robbery and all that type of stuff, right?
Just making bad decisions, just doing worldly things, you know, being of this world, but the Lord delivered me from the world. So, you know, you live and you learn.
Well, right, I get all that. But again, I'm just trying to explore what your childhood was like, right? So when you was a kid,
Yeah.
you had both mom and dad in the household, and you say your mom passed when you was 12? I mean,
Nah.
18?
She passed like
Like when you was like 20?
I was in my 20s though.
Okay, you was in your 20s when your mom passed. Okay, so growing up, all the way up until 18, you had both mom and dad in the house, right?
I was in prison.
Boy, if
But you
don't-
could say, I don't know. I was in prison. I ain't used
listen
to call.
to me, listen to me,
Yeah.
listen to me. Up until the age of 18. You went to prison at 18, right?
Yeah.
So before you went to prison, who did you live in the house with that was adults?
Well, I had just got out of Rice Street for another armed robbery, and I stayed out like 30 days and got locked up and caught 12 years. And before then, I had just got out of juvenile, you know, for aggravated assault and caught that. So it was
When
like,
was the first-
I lived
what
in the
age was
streets at the time.
What
so,
age was the first age that you went to juvenile?
Well, I want to say about 15.
15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. And so, you know, up until 15, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that you had a fairly normal childhood?
I ain't gonna really say that. I used to
Tell
make
me about it.
bad decisions, you know. Just do the wrong things.
Why?
That's how it is growing up. That's how it was when I was growing up anyway. Just making bad decisions, you know.
I mean, was it that you was basically seeing the people around you make bad decisions and you was just
you can
copying
necessarily
that?
say that. You can necessarily say that.
Well, I mean, you know, here's the thing.
I wouldn't
you
be
done
who
had
the Lord
12
created
years.
me to be.
Well, listen, and I get all the Lord stuff, right? But you done had 12 years to reflect and think about this stuff. You didn't think about any of this stuff while you was in there?
Nah, not at the time.
Why not?
I was in the game for 11 years, but the Lord delivered me from it, so, yeah.
Okay. Did you like go to elementary school?
Yeah, I did go there.
Did you go to middle school?
Yeah, I went to middle school. I dropped out in the 9th grade, though.
Okay, so you dropped out like
Yeah.
kind of the first year of high school.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you drop out?
Doing wrong, skipping school, smoking weed, towing pistols, all type.
Why do you
bull
think
crap.
Why do you think you did all that?
Just bad decisions.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this. Like, okay, so as far as when you was growing up, it sounds like you had both mom and dad in the household,
Yeah.
right? Were they not able to keep you in line? Was your dad not able to keep you straight and, you know, keep you kind of in line type deal, or were you just kind of a wild child?
I just used to do things I wanted to do, you know, not making up excuses. I just used to make bad decisions.
They ain't used to whoop you or nothing like that?
Yo, when I was a kid, I used to get whippings, but, you know.
What about when you was like in middle school? Like your dad didn't used to like
Nah.
check you? Was he like a street guy, or was he like
Nah, he went on the street.
a
guy
working,
that.
like
He was
just a regular
yeah,
working kind of guy?
Working guy, yeah.
So what did he think about your behavior back then?
I don't know. I never spoke to him about it.
Is he still living?
Yeah, he's still living.
Well, what does he think about how everything's turned out now?
Well, I ain't seen him in a minute, you know,
Why?
since I got shot. I just ain't seen him in a minute.
Well, why?
I don't go over that way no more. No. So, I'm out here.
Well, I mean, do you love him?
Yeah,
Do you think he loves you?
yeah.
Does he know that you're homeless?
I mean, yeah.
So, is he not concerned as far as you like being able to stay warm at night and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah, the Lord
has
make
he-
a way for me, so
Listen,
Yeah.
I get it. I get about the Lord, okay? But
yeah, he make a way for me.
but as far as your dad, right? Because your dad also, was the one who the Lord chose to
Yeah.
for you to be his son. You know what I'm saying? And so, he's charged of providing and protecting for you, because ultimately you started out in his nutsack. Okay, like you was a little sperm cell in his nutsack, and now you're a whole grown person here. Okay, and so he still has some level of responsibility, even though you're a grown man. And so the point that I'm making is that Are y'all not on good terms?
Yo,
so
we
that
on
you can-
good terms.
So is it not possible for you to, like, you know, just crash at his house at night type deal and stay out?
I be having places to crash, but you know, Lord make a way for me. He always make a way for me.
Okay. All right. And so as far as it goes, like, you don't have any kids. You know, when did we get all these face tats and stuff like that?
I've been having since I was young,
Like, how young?
15.
So before you went to prison.
Yeah,
So you had all these face tats before you went
not
to
all
prison?
of them, but I had a couple.
A good number?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that was back when, you know, that was like, let me see, you're 33. When you was 15, that's 18 years ago.
Yeah,
So that was like, basically, that was like when Gucci Mane was getting his face tattoo. And
I
everybody
know.
was going crazy.
yeah, I can't recall. I know it was like in the 2000s, about 2007, 2006, one of them. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Why did you decide to get those face tattoos?
I like the tattoos, you know. And a lot of things, you know, the Lord delivered me from. So I was young, foolish, making a lot of wrong decisions, but I learned from it.
How do you think that, let me ask you this. If you could go in a time machine right now and go back to the time when you was 13 years old and you show up exactly as this, do you think that you would be able to convince your 13-year-old self to go on a different path?
Well, that's a good question. But honestly, I don't regret nothing I went through. It made me wiser, you know. And experience is the best teacher. If you don't go through that, then how you gonna be able to tell somebody else something, you know?
Well, you can learn from others the mistake of others too.
Yeah, but I wasn't no
So-
good. I wasn't no good learner like that. Like learning from mistakes of others. I had to.
You won't be learning from the mistakes of
I
others
literally
though.
had to go through certain
This would
things
be
myself.
no, but this would be you
Yeah.
talking to you.
Okay.
What would you say to yourself? What would you say to this 13-year-old kid that
Trust the
thinks he
Lord.
knows everything?
Obey
Well,
your
he ain't gonna
parents.
he ain't gonna
Yeah.
listen to none of that.
Obey your
He ain't-
parents.
Now,
and
at
trust the
13,
Lord.
would you have
Yeah.
listened to any of that?
I would now.
I ain't talking about now.
Yeah. I
See,
would now.
what I'm trying to get at is, how do we prevent this? Because all this Lord talk and all that stuff, that's all good, but you done already did a bunch of crap. You know what I'm saying? And so, how do we prevent the kids from doing a bunch of crap and then having to be out here and then saying, oh, the Lord this and the
You gotta
Lord
trust
that?
the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding and acknowledge Him in all
Listen,
your
listen,
ways,
brother.
and He'll direct your path.
Brother, you preaching to the choir. I know all this.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that how do we prevent folks like yourself from becoming like this right here? How do we prevent that?
Jesus Christ is the way of truth and life. No man come to the Father except through Him. I mean, honor your mother and father. Obey the Lord commandments.
No, so okay,
you know?
so again, I'm just trying to get what I'm trying to get from you is what your thoughts are on what could have prevented this path.
Walking on the path of Christ, following Him.
Right, but I'm
studying
sure
leading
that
to
you
my
had
own understanding, being of this
right,
world.
but here's the thing.
Reading the Bible, being obedient
I'm sure
to
that
my
you had
parents,
people telling
know?
you that. I'm sure you had people telling you that.
Not like that.
So you didn't have nobody telling you
I mean,
to do
I
the
had-
right thing. You didn't have nobody telling you to not do the bad thing.
It's different when you read your word. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord saying in His word, let every man be a lion, let His word be the truth.
So you never went to church when you was younger?
I had choices where I could
Okay.
just be like, I ain't got nothing to wear to avoid going to church and go outside and do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't really strict how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because if you raise a kid up right in the way that you want them to go, like
Okay, so then now we're getting somewhere. So basically what you're saying is that, you know, had you kind of had your parents been maybe a little more strict over you,
yeah.
right? Force you to do things like go to church and stuff like that, then you feel like things would have turned out differently.
Yeah, they would've. They would've.
Do you really believe that though? Because it's one thing to feel that way at 33 years old, but
Yeah,
at the
I
age
honestly feel like
at the
that,
age
too.
of like 13,
Yeah.
do you think that you would have taken to all this Lord stuff and all like that?
Yeah, you got to.
or you
you
would have
got
still
to-
been chasing
You
the
got to train them when they young. You know what I'm saying? When they kids, you got to instill it in them. You
Okay,
can't wait
so
till they get
that's
13.
where we're going.
You got to
So
wait
that's
till
where
they,
we're going.
when they babies.
Okay,
you got
so
to
if you
raise them
could,
up
so
in the word.
if you could go back, if you could go back to any age,
Yeah.
if I had a time machine right here and I said you could only go back to one time in your life, one age that would change, that would have the most impact on changing your life, okay? What age would you go to? What age would you go to say, you know what, if I go to this age and give this advice, it's gonna change the outcome that I have at 33?
Well, ain't over till the Lord said so. You know,
Lord, boy, I ain't talking about.
I ain't messed
I ain't
up
talking
too
about
bad.
no future stuff.
I ain't
well,
messed
you messed
up
up
too
bad
bad
enough
for
that
my future
listen,
to be brighter. You know what I'm saying?
True enough,
Yeah.
fair enough. But oftentimes that brighter
Like a lot
future.
of people not
hold
alive.
on now, hold on
Yeah.
now. Oftentimes that brighter future is going to come with you recognizing the things and the patterns in your life that you need to change. So it's one thing to be down with the Lord. That's great. But what else? Because there's people out here that's down for the Lord. That ain't that. And matter of fact, everybody gets down for the Lord when they get out here. Once they get to this position, everybody's for the Lord.
Well, I love the Lord with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? So I let Him direct and order my steps. Now I used to lean on my own understanding. In the Word, it say
so
it's a way
okay.
to
So the
seem
Word
right
says
to a
honor,
man, but it lead to death.
Okay,
You know
so
what
the
I'm
Word
saying?
says honor thy mother and thy father,
Yeah.
right? Why haven't you spoken to your dad?
Well, I ain't got his number, being honest.
But he lives in Atlanta.
Yeah, he do.
So you know where he lives.
Yeah, I have done went to his house before, you know.
And what happened when you went?
The Lord blessed me with some money, you know, and we had a conversation.
Oh, so you have
you know.
spoken with him?
Yeah,
you
I have
talked to him.
spoken with him.
So what was that conversation like?
Well, it was all good in the Lord, you know. The Lord can fix anything.
Well, but did he offer you a place to stay? Did he say, hey,
No,
I
I was currently waiting on disability at the time, and I had somewhere to stay at the time.
Disability takes a while though,
Yeah,
man.
I had somewhere to stay at the time.
Disability
you know?
can take years. I hate to be the one to tell you. I don't know if you know that or not.
Well, I believe in the Lord report. The Lord can do a speeding process, you know. All things is possible with the Lord. You know
well, listen, man, listen. You're not gonna get an argument from me about that, but at the same
I just
time,
trust the Lord.
Well, he also says
what I believe.
He also says faith without works is dead.
Yeah,
right?
I do got faith.
So I'm trying. I got the faith, but what are the works? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, faith is walking by faith and not by
and
sight.
it says faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
That's what the book says.
So let me ask you this question.
So hold on.
Okay.
So we got the faith part, but what are the works? What are you doing? Besides having faith, what are you actually doing?
Being obedient to the Lord.
So that's just faith.
Keeping His commandments.
That's just having faith.
You know, keeping His commandments and carrying your cross. Because the Lord said if you love anything more than you love Him, you're not worthy of Him. So I love the Lord more than I love anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not caught up in the world on worldly things, on what I eat, drink, or well.
You shifting, you deflecting, man. You deflecting.
Nah.
I specifically gave you a verse that a lot of people quote, faith without works is dead.
Okay.
And I'm saying, hey, man, I see you got the faith on 100. Where are the works?
It's right in front of you. I'm alive. The Lord is good. Bless the Lord at all times.
I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to point out that you also have to do stuff to move towards getting out of your situation. And I get the disability claim and all like that, but I don't know. It just seems to me like, you know, I mean, if your dad has a place and you guys aren't on bad terms or whatever, and you can still come out here and be in the streets during the daytime or whatever and just still have at least a little roof at night.
I don't even be in the street like that. I spread the gospel. I work for the Lord. You know, I spread the gospel.
Well, I mean, you don't be in the streets like that, but I just seen you the other day. So
yeah,
you in the street that day,
but
I'm
not in the streets. I'm not in the streets doing
like the
wrong.
I get it.
I
Like
don't
being
sell
in the streets.
drugs. I don't do drugs.
I get it.
I don't have sex with women. I don't do nothing ungodly.
You ever had any sex with women since you've been out?
Yeah, I used to.
Oh, okay.
That's the saying, though. The Lord say, if you look at a woman in a lustful way, you already committed adultery in your heart. So I try to keep
real
this
quick. All right. I get it, man. I get it. Listen, man, I commend you for having a ton of faith and being down for Jesus and everything, but just want to help you understand.
I love Jesus.
Well, and that's a good thing, but, you know, loving Jesus is one thing, but you also got to, you know, be able to kind of do stuff to get yourself into those better spots.
Yeah, he make a way for me every day. You know, food, money, clothing. He make a way for me every day.
I ain't mad at it, man.
He make a way for me every day.
Well, listen, man, if anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, Do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything
I
like
don't
that?
have Cash App or social media.
No, okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time, answering all of our questions, and we definitely wish you nothing but the best out here, all right?
All right, Jesus
boy.
Christ is the way, truth, and life.
Yes, sir.
Stay blessed.
Amen, man. Make sure you have a good one, my boy.
All right.